Tonight, Newswatch 16 continues our two-part series on the candidates in Pennsylvania's highest-profile campaign, the race for U.S. Senate.
Last night, we sat down with Democrat Joe Sestak. Tonight, we do the same with his Republican opponent, Pat Toomey. And Toomey tells us the two candidates could not be further apart politically.
Joe and I have very, very different views about how we move forward and how do we get this economy moving.
And for Republican Pat Toomey, the economy is what he's talking about the most in this campaign. The conservative former congressman from the Lehigh Valley says he wasn't going to get back into politics until he saw what he says was the government taking a dangerous lurch to the left with bailouts and an expensive health care reform.
I'm talking about the threat of huge tax increases, the cost of implementing this health care bill, the threat of cap and trade and card check, and these huge regulatory overreaches. Joe Sestak's in favor of all of those things, and his only criticism is that they don't go far enough.
Toomey is a former small business owner, having operated a string of restaurants and clubs throughout eastern Pennsylvania. He says America needs more small businesses now.
People won't launch a new business or hire new workers if they don't know how much it's going to cost, and they don't know what the regulatory burden is going to look like, and they don't know how high their taxes are going to go up. So these policies are wrong. They're preventing us from having the job growth and the recovery that we need.
Toomey's been on the statewide stage before. Back in 2004, he took on incumbent Arlen Specter for the Republican nomination for Senate, a race he barely lost despite Specter's backing from the GOP establishment. In 2010, Specter jumped to the Democratic Party, many think, to avoid another primary race against Toomey. So this time around, Toomey gets Joe Sestak, a man he refers to as a liberal and his ideological opposite. Now, recent polls show the race between Toomey and Sestak to be very, very close, with less than 2 weeks until Election Day. The two candidates will square off in one final debate tomorrow night in Pittsburgh. You can watch it live on our sister station, WNEP2, tomorrow night beginning at 7.
The baby